We're going to be turning over control of this InfoWars battleship to the commander, Alex Jones, who joins us by phone with some special announcements. Alex, how you doing today?
Oh, Mike, you're so great. Thank you for sitting in on the show here. No, I just realized yesterday that the end of this month is creeping up on us very, very fast. It's racing towards us. And so over the weekend and then on Monday up at Infowars.com, we're going to have some breakdowns on what's coming up with Bilderberg this year. I mean, these are the people running our military, openly growing the opium in Afghanistan. Think about that, public view. These are the people worldwide installing continuity of extended TSA groping, with Geraldo Rivera now saying he was raped by the TSA. That's what this is legally. Is rape what they're doing, but they take him out and brutalize him particularly, just like many congressmen. This is about getting away with whatever they want. The Bilderberg crowd are the people that are running all of this. They are at the very top of the pyramid. There's other powerful groups, but those are all run by Bilderberg attendees as well. And so here's the big announcement. A lot of folks know Jim's getting old, and he's kind of passing the baton over to Mr. Anderson over at American Free Press, doing a great job. I, in the last 2 years, was contacted by somebody inside Bilderberg. I'll just leave it at that. I won't say if it's a member or one of their assistant secretaries, whatever. I'm not going to say. I then got another source last week, and folks noticed I was able to call and do the name of the conference, Palm Tree Conference, that Bilderberg is booked under. So right now, Bilderberg is 100% at the Westfield Marriott. I was talking to a national journalist last week, and they're like, is it really going to be there? And I said, yeah, I mean, they're booked. There's a slight chance. I think they've only done this once before. They could know that a big crowd's coming to protest them and move it somewhere, but that's probably not going to happen. And I'll know by actually today. I've got to make some phone calls. But today and tomorrow is when the Bilderberg Group people all officially fill the slots. They have to have the invitation, the code word, and then they have to call and get booked under the Palm Tree Group. But the hotel in Virginia is shut down for those days. The 31st of May is the 3rd of June, so for those 3.5, 4 days. I'm going to be there, and it's also important to add, completely peacefully in the info war, protesting and also alternative media coverage. Our guys just on Justin TV last year, Paul Watson, Aaron Dykes, had 3.5 million views in 3 days just on a Justin TV account that we never even used. So we're going to be live on Justin TV. We're going to be live at prisonplanet.tv in higher quality. We're going to be all over the place. This is going to be a very special year. And unless they back off and move somewhere else or go to Canada or go back to Europe, and I don't think it's going to happen. They are there. It is confirmed, and I now have a source. I've had it the last few years, but it's definitely confirmed. I now have a source in Bilderberg, something that only Jim Tucker has really had. Other people have had some on the sidelines. This is a big victory for us, and now I just don't have one. I have two. So it's a pretty big victory. A lot of boffins died to bring us this information, to quote Star Wars. We've got the plans. Now we've got to rally everyone. Yes, be there. I want to see thousands of people. If we could get Europeans, over 500 at one time, to show up in the middle of nowhere in St. Moritz, and they even tried to block the trains to go into the area for any activists or foreigners, then we should be able to get a few thousand people peacefully to demand media coverage and make the corporate whore media cover it. Because remember, all these decades it didn't exist. We were crazy. Now they have to admit it, but they don't want to cover it.
Yeah, and Alex, I'm glad you mentioned peacefully in terms of the protests, because that's crucial to send that message out to those who are going to be there joining you in the protest. Are you expecting instigators to come in and try to cause problems to be blamed on you?
You know, I don't think so. I mean, we've seen some of this at other big G20s and things, because that's about showing you're a slave. It's a martial law drill, whether it's in England, whether it's in Italy, whether it's in Germany, whether it's in the U.S. or Canada. G20, it's always standardized, letting you know that you're a slave, you're a piece of filth. Basically, martial law is what they have in Chicago with NATO coming up. They want you to know that you're a slave and set that precedent. When it's a real elite Bilderberg meeting where real decisions are being made, not just some public policy stuff like these NATO and G20 meetings.
20 seconds.
Where where they're just regurgitating stuff, they don't want attention to it. And so that's why the police always, I'll come back for a few minutes, finish, and then we'll go to your next guest on the Keep Fukushima News. Stay with us, folks. It's Mike Adams and Alex Jones, Infowars.com.
Everything we said came true. Everything we've done's been right.
A lot of hard-hitting issues straight ahead, and we continue to be joined by Alex Jones himself via phone with his continued announcements about the Bilderbergs. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, just to finish up, so you can get back to the incredibly important issue of Fukushima that the elite aren't worried about. 80-plus times Chernobyl. No, that's no big deal. Again, these are the globalists that think they're God. 4 years ago, Madeleine Albright pulled in the wrong turn and was panicking and basically crying. Luke Rudkowski and others saw her so scared of just maybe 150 people that were out there at one time. And that's another issue. I've got to think about this and come up with a plan. People are welcome to their own plans. But in the next few days, maybe even today, I'll make an article out on Infowars.com, but definitely this weekend I'm going to call and work on it with Watson to just have some basic rally times and points so we can all rally at one point, and then also, protest and do live coverage pretty much continually through the day and the night there from the 31st through the 3rd. And again, they're going to arrive that Thursday afternoon. The hotel will be shut down that morning. And then they start meeting Friday and Saturday. Then they play golf on Sunday and leave. That's another issue. We know which golf course nearby they go to. So there's just a lot of things we're going to be there covering it. And 4 years ago, of course, Obama and Hillary were meeting in secret. It was the #1 story in the country. Where have they disappeared to for a day? We were there. We knew they were there. Secret Service was there, getting in our face, pointing guns at us, driving by in their motorcades, showing us their HK 9mm submachine guns like that would scare us, just U.S. citizens trying to cover public officials breaking the Logan Act, meeting in secret with royalty and others and Rockefellers and Rothschilds, and Henry Kissinger setting the destiny of our world, trying to bring in Agenda 21. I'm just a free man who wants my freedom. And so you asked about provocateurs and things. Just to recap, we'd be at the hotel, while Bilderberg was going on, at our hotel at night, just eating a hamburger in the bar. And they'd have big FBI guys, come and sit down on each side of us and say, hey, let's attack something. And I'm just like, come on, guys, what are you, Secret Service? What are you, FBI? And then later we learned they were assigned Diplomatic Security Corps, assigned to the State Department, and they had plainclothes Marines out there. All of this, like we're bad as Americans when a bunch of criminals are meeting in there and aren't supposed to exist. We're here covering the real issue. They might provocateur something, they might stage something, they might do something, but I seriously doubt it because they don't want to draw attention to this real meeting. G20s and things like that are about global standardization of the exact same police state, snatch and grabs, no First Amendment, no free speech. Soviet system comes to America, comes to Canada, comes to Australia, wherever they have these meetings. Global standardization. They do not want that at these meetings. And again, it is on, it is set, it is happening, and everybody needs to be there. If you can take off work in the morning, Thursday, and some still arrive late on Friday, they'll be arriving all day. That's always a great time to cover all the entrances so that we can get video of these world leaders and criminals like Osama bin Bernanke and others arriving. But undoubtedly, we need some big rally point, and I'm thinking that should be something like Saturday evening at like 6 o'clock and just rally and bullhorn right through into the dark at like 8 o'clock at night. I think that's an important thing to do. But again, I'm going to put out a basic battle plan of when I plan to be there in the info war. And if people want to rally at those points, that's great. But everybody needs to be there. I threw the term out a few weeks ago, Occupy Bilderberg. And some people came out and said, well, that's kind of the socialist Occupy movement. It doesn't matter. The word Occupy just simply gets it media attention. We can call it confront Bilderberg with the truth or rally, against globalists. It doesn't matter. The point is we're going to be there having a protest, having demonstrations for 3.5, 4 days because it will get international press coverage. It will get huge alternative media coverage. It will be absolutely huge, and it will probably force the U.S. media to cover it as well if enough people are there, and then that exposes the fact that Obama's just a puppet, and that Mitt Romney's just a puppet, and there's a real power behind the throne. And thanks to the Drudge Report the last 4 or 5 years, it's been forced into the mainstream media. That's why 3 weeks ago the Washington Post admitted that basically Bilderberg Group grooms both political candidates and vice presidential candidates. An amazing admission from a paper that's been part of the meeting going back to 1954 in Utrecht, Holland when it first kicked off. But listen, get to your next guest. I just wanted to make this announcement here that yes, it's on, yes, it's in Chantilly, and now we're only like 20 days or less away from the kickoff of this. So, folks, don't say you didn't have a chance to really go protest and expose some real globalists. They advertise G20, they advertise NATO, they advertise RNC, DNC. You go there, the cops are all waiting for you. They billy club you, they sound cannon you. They're there to treat everybody like slaves, teach everybody there's no freedom in America. Same thing in Europe. But they don't do that at these because they don't want the media attention. The police, quite frankly, will be there with red carpets and be asking you if you need to eliminate. I mean, not quite, but they have been told in Canada, once you actually get through the cordon, and they've been told in Virginia to not arrest anybody because then the media will have to report on it. So again, I think the safety level is very high, but we need a lot of media monitors, cameras on at all times to cover whatever happens. Give the feds try to provocateur some stuff. They did do one little thing as a test 4 years ago when I was in Virginia. We are going to be on them, exposing their criminal false flags because their garbage doesn't work anymore. But these are the criminals. These are the enemies of America. This is one of the most important confabs, and it's right here in the U.S. We have got a real chance to force this out there. Mike Adams and the whole crew there, God bless you. Get to your next guest, and we'll have more at Infowars.com in the next few days on this, and I'll see all of you in Virginia.
All right, thank you, Alex. Outstanding information. Sounds like it's going to be not just a powerful rally, but actually just a great time to meet other like-minded people out there at this peaceful rally that Alex Jones is calling for. Once again, check Infowars.com for the details about the rally points and the rally times out there at the event. Bring your recording devices, your video recorders, your audio recorders, your hidden video recorders, whatever it takes. Put 3 or 4 cameras on your body, mount them everywhere, and get video and upload it to YouTube. This is the time to get the word out about that. And Alex, if you need my help here to hold down the home base in Austin, I'll be happy to come in and help coordinate during that time. If you've got reporters on the road and you need someone to fill in locally to fill in the gaps in the reports, let me know. This is about all of us working together for this right here, Liberty. I've got the symbol of Liberty on our desk here if you're watching on prisonplanet.tv.